my god, bro. The Julian Alvarez picture that came out earlier today was so freaking funny. I mean, like, I shouldn't be laughing, right? Because, you know, Alvarez does want to join Barcelona. However, that picture looked like a straight mugshot, bro. Like, somebody please take Julian Alvarez out of Atletico Madrid. That guy looks like he's like literally in jail. And I know that many Atletico Madrid fans are like, bro, this is so embarrassing. Like, our best player does not even want to be at our club. How bad is our club? But the reason why I'm even talking about Julian Alvarez again is because we're going to be also referencing the fact that Deco is not giving up on signing a brand new number 9. We'll be discussing that through this video. We're also going to mainly discuss the match review between Barcelona and Ahly, which ended 2-1. Barcelona did win this game. It was the final preseason match, and now all eyes are going to be on Barcelona's debut against Elche away from home. If you guys don't want to find out immediately what's going on with the Alvarez operation or any other operation, or just have any bonus videos through the rest of the season, you'll be finding extra material on the members section. So if you are a member, you'll be getting a lot of bonus videos. But welcome guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Cortez. This is where we do talk about everything in regards to FC Barcelona. So if you are a Barcelona fan, this is going to be the channel for you. And if you do find value in this video, please click the thumbs up button. And if you want to further support this YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel. I promise you, you will not regret it. You're joining a very warm, welcoming community and family, and everything that has been built here has been because of you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. And let's talk about the match first, because Barcelona did show that they are playing in good rhythm, right? The momentum is there. Some players still need to be fit. Like, for example, Lamine Yamal is a little unfit, not because of injury, but only because he needs to gain the match rhythm. We can say the same thing about Jules Koundé, because he also just came back from international break. Maybe even Ferran Lopez, not because he just came back from international break, because he did not participate, but mainly because of the injury. So some players still need to be up there. All in all though, I'm not too worried. I think that Barcelona are going down the correct path. I mean, we did start this preseason game with a announcement by Raphinha, who is now our brand new captain at Barcelona, and he gave out a very emotional speech that talked to a lot of us, right? It touched us. He was saying things like, you know, with Rooney Bardi, the fact that he has all the support in the world, saying that he hopes that Rooney Bardi gets better. It's an amazing thing to see. He also congratulated many of the Barcelona World Cup winning players. He also welcomed the new signings as well, and most importantly, he also thanked the supporters and everybody that did come in to watch the game. Raphinha did show an excellent example of leadership, right? A lot of empathy was being shown, the responsibility, the communication, the fact that he showed that everybody here is welcome, that he's willing to support everybody here that represents the Barcelona badge, is a beautiful thing to see. But Barcelona had a very decent game against Ahly. I don't think that Barcelona played at 100%. Even Hansi Flick admitted that Barcelona won't be at their prime until after the first international break, which won't be happening until I think by the end of September to the beginning of October. This is something that's very common, right? For like many players right now, not just for FC Barcelona, but for many clubs, they're all just coming back from international break. And when you are just coming back from international break, you need to train with the teammates, you need to gain your match rhythm, have the great tempo. It does take some time. Some players might be fatigued, some players might not be mentally there. Hansi Flick has acknowledged this. We just have to pull it through for the first 4 to 5 to 6 matches, and then after the first international break, we should expect to see the true definitive Barcelona that we all know. Barcelona were very proactive, right? We maintained a lot of the possession. I did see Anthony Gordon playing and tested as a number 9, which was very interesting, because I think that with his pace, his aggressiveness, it did give Barcelona greater chances to find Anthony Gordon and to find a number 9 out there inside the box. And the fact that Gordon has that fluidity in him, because Dani Olmo was right behind him at times through the game, we saw Dani Olmo and Anthony Gordon exchange positions, which was very, I would just say, unexpected, because I thought that Anthony Gordon was only going to be playing as a left winger in this Barcelona system, because we did see at some times through the game that he was playing as a left winger, but he was moving as a central forward, and it was purely a double 9 system, which really did intrigue me. I would also like to call out to Adeyemi, because when we saw at one point Anthony Gordon on the left, Adeyemi on the right, their speed, their pace, it forced defenders to run backwards, and it does open the spaces between the lines. And because of these great benefits that players like Gordon and Adeyemi bring, it does benefit Lamine Yamal most importantly, because if the defenders are forced to track Gordon and Adeyemi through their runs, it's going to give Lamine Yamal way more opportunity to receive the ball between between the lines and to be very effective. And I do think that because Gordon and Raphinha and Adeyemi, when they run down the flanks, right, the fact that they're able to make these decisions so quick and attack those open spaces, once you add in Rodri with his long balls, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be very effective. Barcelona will find a lot of attacking opportunities. We also saw Jules Koundé perform as a center back. He was not playing as a right back in this game. We saw Eric Garcia as the right back, and Jules Koundé was being paired up with Pau Kubarsi. And to be very honest, I saw Jules Koundé in a good state. I'm not gonna say that he was world class, that we just discovered a brand new center back at Barcelona, even though originally he was signed to be a center back. But I would just say that he wasn't flawless, but he was very solid. But you can see that he can be built to become a reliable center back at Barcelona for the first time since 2022. I think that with Ronald Araujo being gone, it's gonna give Koundé more opportunities to find minutes and to play simultaneously with Eric Garcia instead of competing against him. I think that we could see Koundé as a center back again in the very near future, because his ability to always recover the possession, to step forward against very strong attackers and be very physical, is one of the benefits that Jules Koundé does bring as a center back. Now notice how we did talk about how Anthony Gordon was playing very good as his number 9. Our main number 9 tonight though was Hamza Abdelkarim, and Hamza Abdelkarim yet again scored another goal. He started this game, played very well, and you can just tell that for every minute, every game that he is given by Hansi Flick, he wants to take advantage of that. Hamza anticipates the ball very well. He's very effective in the final third, always looking to see how he can find those open spaces inside the box and then tap in the ball. That's how he gets those goals in. I'm telling you, man, I'm not telling you that Hamza is going to be the next Erling Haaland. I'm not saying that. I just think that stylistically, he looks very similar to Erling Haaland, because those curved runs and a finish is something that Erling Haaland does a lot. And I think that Hamza, if I'm not mistaken, did say that he does follow Erling Haaland's footage and the way that he does move. So he studies him and he tries to replicate that while adding his own touch. But his goal was amazing. I would still say though that even though Hamza has been very promising and he has been our leading goal scorer during these preseason games, I'm not here and ready to tell you guys that Hamza is our next definitive number 9 and this should be our main number 9 going into this brand new season. I'm not saying that, or I'm not ready to say that. I think that we need to still give this player some time. I think that he's a great backup player. I think that retaining Hamza into the first team is a great replacement, an easy replacement for Ferran Torres. But in terms of finding our next great number 9 that can for sure solidify us 45 goals a season, that is still missing. Hamza is a great backup striker, and I think that he's an easy replacement to Ferran Torres. And that is only because Ferran Torres' bar, statistically, right, goal-wise, is really not that high of a bar anyways. Hamza can easily achieve those levels. But this is what's going to lead me towards what Deco said after the match, because Deco did make it very clear that Barcelona do want to sign a forward. They want to sign a forward before this window, not the next window or the following window. This window does end. And this is what Deco said. Of course, we will be able to replace Ferran Torres' departure, but Robert Lewandowski's situation is more complicated. We are working on taking the right steps before the transfer window closes. We will definitely do something in the transfer market. And so you can clearly see that this message is clear. Deco continues to say the exact same thing after every preseason game. Barcelona want to sign a striker. It will happen, right? So this whole thing about us talking about many different number 9s, it's all part of the negotiations, trying to scout what player fits Barcelona the best. If we show our interest, is it possible? Is it feasible? Does the selling club, like, are they even interested in letting go of their number 9 and bring that number 9 to us? Are they interested? Do they want to negotiate with us? And the fact that he has distinguished Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, and saying that, you know, replacing Lewandowski is way more complicated, you can tell that Deco is only saying, I want to bring a number 9 that can replicate Lewandowski's numbers, which is more than 35-40 goals a season. So it's either go big or go home. I really want to tell you guys, and the only reason why I try to hold my teeth a little bit is because I don't want to sell dreams. I don't want to be out here saying that we're for sure going to sign that player, because I'm not here to lie to you guys. We have to be realistic, but at the same time, you just don't know where Deco and Barcelona are going to take us. Like, we don't know where we're going to go next. We might hear a whole other big different name tomorrow, and we're very close to signing that player. But I would love to tell you guys that Barcelona are working on players like Harry Kane or a Erling Haaland. Because if we're talking about go big or go home, and you're talking about literally replacing Lewandowski, you're talking about bringing in a big profile to replace an old big profile. As of right now, the only reports that we have been hearing has all been about Lautaro Martinez. It's one of the conversations that we have had in the members section. I'm not going to go too into depth here about Lautaro Martinez. Everything is up in the air, and the only reason why is because Inter Milan, I don't even think that they're interested in letting go of the player. It's their captain, it's their main goal scorer, it's a player that has shown that he's not even interested in leaving Inter Milan, or at the very least, this is what he said before Barcelona have shown interest. But could Lautaro Martinez be the next number 9 for FC Barcelona? We'll see. I think that if you were to ask me, does Lautaro Martinez have the level to go up there to Barcelona and perform at 40 goals a season? I think that he can. But is Inter Milan interested? Does Lautaro Martinez want to go out there in the next coming hours and say, hey Inter, I know that I have been very devoted with you guys and very committed to the club, but I think that because Barcelona have shown interest, I want to go there. Let's work towards that. Will Lautaro Martinez say that? Could he find a personal agreement with FC Barcelona? We'll see. But that is it, right? That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.